Hi, this is Ms. Cruz. I am going to go ahead and show you how to get started on your foil sculpture. Now you should have already completed your armature that you should have did to start off this assignment, and I based mine on this right here, this pose. And so what you need to do is you need to go ahead and get some foil. You need some foil to do this to start off. You just take some out and cut pieces like so. You cut a variety of them, and then you can make some smaller pieces such as these right here. Okay, so before we actually start building over this armature, what I like to do is to give it extra support. I'm putting foil on the inside of some of these for the center. And so all I did was I just got a piece of foil and just crumbled it like so. Okay, and so that's how I created these. So I created one for this inside where the body is. I created one, this one's for his head. And it really does help, and it kind of makes it more sturdy too by adding these. And then this one can be for his pelvis area. Okay. Alright. So, alright. And then, of course, like for the arms part, you can use some smaller pieces, and you just kind of crumble it. You can kind of like, it kind of helps give it some shape. You want to be thinking about like the muscles, fatty tissue, where the bone structure, where things are, and how they could look to make your sculpture look more proportional with how a body looks. Okay, so yeah, you can go ahead and do that. Go ahead and make a little bit more and put this one near the forearm. Great thing about foil is that you can manipulate it very well. Okay, you can see how I just did that. If you don't have parts of your armature that has, if it's double, because all I'm doing is sticking the foil right in there, you can just, when you crush it and when you start wrapping your foil, you just put a piece there and then wrap it, and that would be fine too. Okay, alright, so go ahead. What I like to do is I like to cut pieces about this big, and then you just start to build. You're going to need quite a bit of foil, so ahead of time I would go ahead and start. I would cut a whole bunch of pieces to start off. And what I like to do is, I tell my students, is to go ahead and wherever you start, like I'm starting with the head, you want to transition from one part to the next by overlapping the foil. So how I'm not quite done with the head, I'm going to probably just go all the way down and then come back over and continue to build. But you might want to get some smaller pieces to make those transitions to lead into the torso part, similar to what I'm doing here. And now that I have this smaller piece, I can come back with a bigger piece and start on that torso. Okay, now don't worry so much about loose ends, because believe me, you're going to have a lot of loose ends. But don't worry about loose ends just yet. Loose ends are like these little pieces right here that are sticking up. If you're having a hard time keeping it down, try pinching it with the foil under it, and sometimes that helps. But even like once you build over it, it's going to get better. But at the very end, when you're completely done with your sculpture, you can use a hot glue gun and then just put a little glue right under there and then just press it down, and the hot glue does really well. Okay? Alright, so Okay, so since I'm transitioning to the arm, this fell out a while ago, so I'm going to go ahead and put that back, this little piece, to give it a little bit more right there. And I'm going to go ahead and put a transition piece and kind of put it together, and then more foil. And more foil. And this one fell out as well. Okay. Now, I know that this arm right here needs to be built up a little bit more. And mind you, as I'm building this, I'm also looking at this image, and I'm still trying to duplicate that. So I'm going to build up his shoulder a little more because I don't have a lot of form there. And so I'm going to go ahead and just put some form there, lay it on top, and then get some pieces, and fill it in. Okay. Alright. It's starting to take some shape, which is really good. So don't forget about the hands. And, press it tight to conform to your skeleton. You can already see how the hand is starting to take shape right there. Do you see that? Okay. Alright. Well, that's how you guys get started. Complete the whole thing. Press it with your hands, pinch it if it doesn't stick very well, and then once you are done with the whole thing and you have loose ends, you can use a hot glue gun to make those loose ends stay attached. And once you're done with that, then you go ahead and put your attach it to your cardboard piece. Just follow the instructions, and you're good to go. Alright guys, have fun with this, and good luck.